Can I welcome all members and officers to this meeting of the Licensing B Subcommittee, which has been convened as a hybrid meeting. The meeting is being recorded and will be available via the Council's website to be viewed as soon as possible following the meeting. The meeting agenda pack can also be viewed on the Council website. Everyone participating in the meeting will be attending either in the Council chamber or from remote locations. Members attending remotely must keep their cameras on for the duration of the meeting. However, all attendees should keep their microphone off until invited to speak. Members and officers can indicate they want to speak by pressing the hands up icon on the computer, that is. In the event of any vote, the Democratic Services Officer will call out the names of the members who will then cast their vote. I will now proceed to the agenda business. First of all, could you give your name online so that with the microphone on, so we have it on the recording?
Good morning, all. My name is Shijo.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Now, just to give an idea of what happens, I'll run through the complete procedure for you. There'll be an introduction from the licensing officer. Then the applicant's case will be presented. If there are objectors, their case is then presented, and then closing statements. The objectors are invited to summarize their case, etc. We then receive advice from the licensing officer and/or the legal officer, and after that we consider the application, and then item 8 is announcement of decision. So that's how it runs. So if we can go to the agenda now. We've had one apologies for absence. That was Councillor Easterbrook. Declarations of interest. Has anybody got declarations of interest? No. No? No. Colin, have you got any declarations of interest?
No, Chair, thanks.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Approval of minutes. Now, I have before me some minutes which were dated the 30th of April 2025 for approval. Councillor James and I were at the meeting, and I'm happy to approve them.
I'll second them.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
That's out of the way. We come to item 4 on the agenda, grant of a premise license.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay.
The licensing officer asked me a question.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I've answered it now, yeah. She wanted to know, can she give Councillor Hayes his name if he's not here, but I told her yes.
Okay, I do. Thank you. Item 4 then is grant of a premise license for Grabby, Ebenezer Chapel Building, Begen Road, Aberkenfig. So we'll proceed with that. Now we come to the applicant's case. You may now present.
Chair, the licensing officer needs to present the report first.
Oh, right, licensing officer first. Yeah, okay, I've got lots of bits of paper here.
Okay, thank you, Chair. Good morning, everyone. I will just run through the reports pack that you have before you, and just to advise whether there have been any changes since the application was submitted. As you've indicated, the purpose of this report is to determine an application for the grant of a premises licence. The application has been submitted by Grabby Limited, and the applicant is represented today by Shijo. A copy of the application form and plan is attached at Appendix A of your report, and the reason a hearing of this application is necessary was that 2 representations were received following the public notice, neither of which have been withdrawn, and those representations are at Appendix B of your reports. Notices of hearing were sent to both the persons making representations, they are other persons as defined by the legislation, e.g. They're not responsible authorities or any other statutory agency. So if I could just quickly summarise, the application requests the supply of alcohol for consumption on and off the premises Monday to Saturday 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Actually, it's not on premises, it's off license, it is.
Ah, right.
Can you pull your microphone
Yeah, sorry.
closer?
Yeah, it is off license, it's not on-site license. Yeah.
Clarify something then with the application describes the premises as a convenience store, but alcohol may also be served within a cafe area, bottled beer, cider or wine. And then at page 15 of the application, box J, which covers the supply of alcohol, the question at the top is, will the supply of alcohol be for consumption? And then it's on or off, and it's said to be both on and off the premises.
The application, well, to this kind of business, I'm new to it, so I've been supported by a third party. So the third party actually completed the application form for me, which I've gone through it, but this is off license, there won't be any consumption of alcohol at the premise whatsoever.
Can you confirm then that you want to amend your application to just be an off licence?
Yes, please, definitely, yes.
Thank you.
Okay, so I gave the timings then, so these are for off sales, and there are no non-standard timings, so no timings outside of the hours given in the application, and those hours were as advertised in the public notice.
Right, okay. Yeah, it will be given time, so there won't be any other times. We won't be, like it's a standard time, which is like 6 till 10 and then 11 o'clock during the weekdays, so yeah.
It doesn't say 11 o'clock, it says 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock, yeah.
Yeah, not 11.
Yeah, 10 o'clock it is, yes.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I thought you said it was going to be 11 as well.
No, actually, there were lots of speculations from the community as well. They were thinking it was going to be open until 11 o'clock, but actually not. It's a normal off-license shop which will be open at 10 o'clock. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that. So obviously the description of the premises then is also revised in that it is a convenience store, but that the section relating to alcohol being sold from a cafe are they struck from the application there?
No, it's the building itself. It's a huge building, so we have got the potential to open up a cafe at the front of the shop. Cafe means like coffees and teas, because we got offices around the building and also upstairs, but no alcohol will be served whatsoever in the premise, on the premise, no.
Okay, so the application was advertised and 2 representations were received. Shijo, I forwarded you those representations. So you've had an opportunity to consider them, and you can address the committee in due course about what the comments were. The representation 1, the person making the representation has given consent for their name to be released, but not their home address, and that was received from a Mrs. Millardi. Representation 2 in your report was received from Councillor Gary Hames. Again, he did not give consent for an address to be released. Neither party has indicated that they wish to withdraw those representations, so you are required to have a full hearing of this application. Obviously, their written representations are before you for inclusion in the decision. I'm not aware of any other changes to the application at this point, and I would therefore ask if the applicant's representative would put the case to you.
Thank you, Yvonne. Can I just clarify that the alterations now that have been recorded this morning will be part of this application now, the new details? Okay, thank you. All right.
Because the applicant has formally amended his application and confirmed it.
As long as we know where we are. Thank you. Now, the next part of this is the applicant's case. That's you, sir. If you can then tell us a bit about yourself and any training you may have had or steps you're going to take to ensure that the licensing objectives are met, in other words, complied with. If you could put your phone,
Right. Good morning, all the members of the licensing committee. As you can see, so I'm new to all these procedures, so I beg your pardon for, making mistakes. Thank you for the opportunity to present our application in front of you all today. We fully understand and respect the concerns raised by the local residents, and we share their desire to maintain the safe and quiet environment in a well-managed neighborhood. Our objective is not to create nuisance or disruption, but to operate a responsible, well-controlled premise that contributes positively to the local community. We take all 4 licensing objectives very seriously. The prevention of crime and disorder, public safety, the prevention of public nuisance, and the protection of the children and from harm. So I've gone through the 2 representations made by 2 individuals. So the first of all, they made there will be public nuisance by having deliveries. So as I mentioned, will be clearly an off-license shop. The deliveries will be typically around the business hours to avoid disturbances in the community. We won't be having no deliveries or collections early mornings or late evenings.
So is it possible to just speak up a little bit, please?
Yes, yeah.
Thank you.
Sorry. All unloading will be carried out quietly and efficiently with people, those who are used to it, doing their jobs. There was also a concern about parking issues. The building itself has got a lay-by just right in front of the building. So the deliveries will be scheduled to avoid all the parking problems, so there will be enough space for the delivery vehicles to come and stop and then switch the engine off, and then it will be done smoothly. They've also raised the concern about crime and disorder. We have a comprehensive CCTV system will be in place for monitoring both internal and exterior of the building. So all staff will be also fully trained to monitor constantly if there is any antisocial behavior is happening. They've also mentioned protection of children, so obviously all our staff will be rigorously trained not to sell any alcohol, underage children, so they will be constantly asked questions, and then they will be making decisions. When I read this to representations, I also kind of asked questions myself, so these representations, obviously, these are the concerns raised by people. But I can clearly see that, two representations are quite identical, so the wordings and everything is same, but I'm kind of trying to create jobs, it was an old building left there for many years, abandoned. If you let me read some of the comments which was raised on the social media, by several people. Actually, there was a big talk about this particular building and what business is going to come there by the public. So the blue notice which we put on was posted on Facebook page, and then there were many comments about this. So if I read, one of them commented, "Be nice to have another shop. Please no vape or barbers though." The other one wrote, "Why are the people speculating, taking things face value? I would be inclined to agree with someone that's spoken to the prospective business owner. If, as has been mentioned, it may be a coffee shop, restaurant and butchers, I would welcome it with open arms. How many villages can you go with the variety that Aberkenfig will have? Towns and villages are crying out for this kind of investment." Another one wrote, "At least the shop continues to be used again. It has been such a shame seeing the left empty since my father sold it a few years back. He worked so hard to convert it from original chapel and develop it further over the years. I recently explored the option of buying it back and continuing it the bed shop. Dad worked so hard to build over the years, but it was already sold. A shame, but hopefully the shop can live on being used and I will still be bringing Mr. Mattress back too." Another one wrote, "More trade could bring more people to the village and be the advantage to the shops in keeping frequent bus route instead of out-of-town shops." Another one wrote, "For goodness sake, when are people going to stop moaning about everything going on around the village?" So many positive comments, came, which kind of gave me a positive energy, So this is my another kind of business. I also employ around 55 people in Bridgend town itself. So already when I thought of opening an off-license shop, the local people came and asked for jobs, So I think, there are already a couple of other shops are around there. This will be a quietly run, well-monitored off-license shop, which can bring more, which can create more jobs for the community and also thrive our community. If you look at the building, it was an abandoned building for a couple of years, which is refurbished. I spent a lot of money into it, which is going to open up for the community. So definitely it's going to make a change for the community rather than having more problems. So I request the respectable committee to look at the positive aspects of what this is going to bring. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Now the councillors can now ask questions.
Yeah, so
Councillor James.
You say you've got premises. Are they off-licence premises? Yes. In Bridgend, actually, you've got. So have you got a
No,
license?
no, I haven't got other off-license
No other-
promise. No.
So this is your first one, is it?
This is the first one.
Right.
We were looking to open in Porthcawl and Ogmore Vale.
Right, okay. So you've got no experience of licensing?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Davis, do you have any questions, please?
Yeah, thank you, Chair. My questions are, I don't know whether it's questions really as a point, because there's not much the applicant can do about this issue that I'm going to talk about. I think it's brilliant that somebody wants to invest in that building because, as the applicant said, it's been run down, it's been empty. It was used as a cannabis farm as well a couple of years ago. So, you know, it's a large building. It is in the centre of the community. And I'm sure the applicant is an experienced businessman. I'm sure he'd do a good job of running, what could be a really positive addition to Aberkenfig. But the big problem, and there's not much anybody can do about this, is the fact that that road is so busy and narrow, and the amount of traffic on that road is incredible. I use it. I think there's a small lay-by outside the shop for 2 cars. But, you know, adding traffic to that road is just going to make things far worse. I have no idea how the buses get down there, to be honest. Whenever I drive down there, you're forced to stop and pull over, stop and pull over. I've had a couple of near misses there, driving really slowly. I don't know whether this is an objection. It's certainly
No,
in the...
I think this is just a licensing application. The traffic,
yeah.
we don't take into account, do we? No.
No, that's a matter for the planning committee, not this committee, Councillor Davis.
Right. Okay, I just wanted to say that. In terms of Councillor James's point about the applicant not having experience of, running an off licence, I take that point as something that I think the applicant would have to do a bit more of in terms of improving the committee's confidence in his abilities to do that. But it sounds like he does have a track record in business. So he'd be basically, transferring his skills from one area of retail to another. So I don't have any objections there, but I think planning should look at some of these issues because I think they're insurmountable. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. That's for another day. Now, Yvonne, do you have to ask anything? And then, if not, Andrea?
Quick question. You say you've got other businesses. Can you just explain to the committee what your background in businesses and what businesses you've got, so they know, what you've been doing previously?
Right. I'm a qualified nurse, so I've been working as a nurse for the last 20 years, both mental health and adult nurse. I've worked all around in Bridgend, I've worked everywhere, like in Cardiff, Clandrescent, working as a mental health nurse and also an adult nurse in varieties of hospitals, both private and NHS. 4 years ago, we've started a home care service, so it's a domiciliary care service. It's called Star Care Solutions. We've started it small, but we've had a temporary contract with the Bridgend County Borough Council, which we are looking to get a permanent contract this year, but we also do have a permanent contract with the Neath and Talbot Council. Our office was based in Porthcawl. Recently, we moved our office to Aberkenfig, this building, because it's a huge building, So that is our primary business, so we're doing it for the last 4 years now.
Did you say employ 50 people?
55, yeah, 55.
55.
Yes.
And you've said that you're all going to go on training courses for
Yes.
alcohol licensing, but you haven't embarked on any yet, have you?
No, I haven't. I've recently got my personal license, but I will be undertaking lots of trainings before I start. Yes.
And all your staff will as well?
Yes, all my staff.
Okay.
This is something like we are going to do in time. It's not like straight away. So obviously we will select staff who are experienced in the field itself. I think a couple of them already approached me from Aberkenfig area, who have been working in shops, so...
So they've already got experience of selling alcohol?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, fine, fine.
Right, thank you for that.
Closing statements?
Sorry?
Does the applicant wish to make a closing statement?
Well, yeah, there are no objectors. I'm just making
Well-
sure that there's nothing to read out, is there?
There are objectors, but you can read, if you want to read them out here. So you can read
No,
it.
there's no need if they're
you
not
can-
here. I mean,
No.
you know, they have had the chance to come.
But you will take them into consideration, obviously. Once
Obviously, yes, okay. Well, right, the next item then is closing statements. Well, the objectors are not here, so that they can't give their case. And really, we're down to...
If the applicant is, if he
Right.
wishes to make one.
do you want to say anything now to...
Just a couple of sentences, you know, I've turned 40 now, you know, so there's a thrive to do something in our lives, you know, which I'm doing, you know, so I've bought a building in Ockmore Way, and also we have building in Porthcawl, the same sort of business we are, we are planning to start. Grabby is a brand name, you know, so we hope, you know, we can take it to a new level, you know, so obviously this is our starting, you know, something is, you know, there's objection is there, you know, but, you know, putting off is not going to do anything, you know, so I would kindly request the committee to consider the pros and cons, what is going to happen. Obviously, the local community's concerns are high, but at the same time, you know, a new entrepreneur like me, you know, we need to progress, you know, so to do something in the community, like one of the committee member pointed out, you know, the building was used as a cannabis factory before, you know, so I bought this building and then I came to know about it, and even there was no electricity to the building, you know, so I had to spend a lot of money to get the electricity and everything back, you know, so once we come to this stage and then everything is kind of stopping, is killing us, you know, so I would kindly request you to consider that as well. Thank you.
Okay. Well, the committee will now retire to consider your decision, and you'll be notified within 5 days by email. Okay? Thank you for coming, and we will consider your case fairly, okay?
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Well, with that, we're closing this meeting, so thank you very much, okay? And you may go now. Thank you.